Motivation, it's like that friend who shows up late to every party. Sometimes it feels like no matter what we do, it just doesn't show up when we need it. But what if I told you that motivation isn't something you just have or don't have? It's something you generate. Today, we'll explore the simple yet powerful tricks to get that motivational engine started. From science-backed techniques to some hacks you may have never heard of, we've got you covered. So let's dive in. Now, you might be wondering why I chose this topic today. Well, here's a little confession. Earlier today, I was struggling to find the motivation to even get up and shoot this video. Yeah, me, your friendly neighborhood motivator, couldn't muster the energy to do what I love most. And that's what got me thinking. If I'm struggling with this, then I bet a lot of you are too. So I decided to dig deep into my own toolbox of motivational hacks and share what actually works for me and what might just work for you too. Let's figure this out together. First, let's get the basics out of the way. Motivation comes in two flavors. Intrinsic motivation, which is when you do something because you actually want to, like reading a book because you love getting lost in a good story. And you have extrinsic motivation, which is when you do something to earn a reward or avoid a punishment, like working on a project to get that promotion or simply avoid getting yelled at by your boss. Understanding which type of motivation drives you can help you find the right hack to get started. And speaking of hacks, let's get a little nerdy for a second, because science can actually help us hack our motivation. Meet dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Whenever we anticipate a reward, our brain releases a burst of dopamine, making us feel good. This is called the dopamine reward loop. Even small rewards like checking a task off your list can create a loop that motivates you to keep going. All right, let's talk hacks. The first one is super simple but incredibly effective, the 5-minute rule. Commit to doing the task for just 5 minutes. Often starting is the hardest part, and once you get going, you'll find it much easier to continue. I use that today. Next, we have break it down. Big tasks can be overwhelming, so break them into smaller, more manageable steps. The smaller the step, the less daunting it feels. Next, we have one of my favorite, temptation bundling. Combine something you don't want to do with something you enjoy. For example, listening to your favorite podcast while cleaning. We also have the 2-minute rule. Make the habit so easy you can't say no. If you want to read more, start with just 2 minutes a day. I use this for my reading. And of course, we have micro deadlines. Create small time-bound goals with many rewards to keep your brain engaged and motivated. If you're finding these hacks helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and keeps me motivated to bring you more valuable content. And for exclusive tips and tricks, join my Patreon community, link in the description below. Now, back to the hacks. Sometimes the biggest enemy of motivation is our own mind. Fear of failure, perfectionism, and lack of motivation are huge barriers, but here's how to overcome them. Reframe failures as learning experiences. Aim for imperfect action and start with the easiest step to build momentum. Now, back to the hacks. We have the power of accountability. Sometimes a little positive peer pressure can work wonders. Get an accountability partner, whether it's a good friend or you can even join a community. It's much harder to slack off when someone's counting on you. You can also use apps or digital tools to help track progress, set reminders, and provide motivation. Some of the more popular choices are Habitica, Stick with 2 Ks, or Coach.me. We're getting closer to the big reveal, but before that, here's a few more powerful hacks. The dopamine detox. We're surrounded by instant gratification that floods our brains with dopamine. By taking breaks from these things like social media, junk food, and mindless entertainment, you reset your brain's reward system. This makes your mind more sensitive to smaller rewards and can reignite your natural drive. Give it a try, even if it's just for one day, and see the difference it makes. Next, we have the Seinfeld strategy. Don't break the chain. Here's how it works. Mark an X on your calendar every day you complete a task. The goal is simple. Keep the streak alive. As the chain grows, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment and motivation to keep going. It's a powerful way to build consistency and make your task a daily habit. Next up, we have the if-then planning technique. Create a mental script to connect specific situations with planned responses. For example, if I finish my work by 3, then I'll reward myself with a walk in the park. The technique helps you create a clear plan for how you want to handle various situations, making it easier to stay on track and achieve your goals. This next hack is about identifying your why. Understand the deeper reason behind your goals and ask yourself why achieving this goal is important to you. Having a strong sense of purpose fuels your motivation and makes it easier to push through challenges and stay committed. One of my favorite hacks is gamifying your tasks. Let's talk about it. Is turning your tasks into a game where you earn points or badges for each completion. Make it fun and engaging. The approach makes the process more enjoyable and helps keep you motivated by adding a playful element to your productivity. But the biggest game changer, I'm saving that for last, so stay tuned. By the way, if you're looking for a deeper dive into these concepts, there are some amazing books that helped change my life. Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, and Drive by Daniel H. Pink. Check the links in the description to grab a copy. These books are packed with actionable insights. All right, you've waited long enough. The ultimate motivation hack is the Goldilocks rule. It's all about finding the perfect balance when it comes to challenges. It's based on the idea that we're most motivated when we're working on tasks that are neither too easy nor too hard, but just right. When a task is too easy, we get bored. When it's too hard, we get frustrated. But when it's in that sweet spot, right in the middle, we stay focused and engaged because the task is interesting yet achievable. So how do we use the Goldilocks rule in your daily life? Start by identifying tasks that are just beyond your current skill, challenging enough to keep you engaged, but not so tough they feel impossible. If something feels too easy, make it a bit harder. It's too hard, break it down into smaller steps. This way, it keeps your brain's dopamine levels just right, staying motivated and in the flow. That's the power of the Goldilocks rule. It keeps you in the zone, making steady progress towards your goals. Give it a try and see how much more productive and motivated you feel. And if you want to learn how to make procrastination work for you and help you become more productive, I have a whole video about it. Check it out right here. Trust me, it's a game changer.